Right, so here we have the jousting aerial. See, it's on quite a bit of a lean. It's just the design of the bull bar, which isn't really the best, but it's just the way it is. Can't really fix that unless you cut these tabs off, weld them back on flat. But so it's forever been jousting this aerial. But what we're going to do is put on a GME Adjustable Aerial mount on there, so I can just lay it back at least, and put the long one on there so I don't have to drive around with this little one on there all the time. So yeah, just getting in now, this carport makes it hard. Obviously there's not much room, so. Alright, so here we have the GME Adjustable Aerial Base. It's pretty well built, pretty solid. I'm sure it will stand a lot of bumpy roads and corrugations. So it pretty much just pulls out, and then you can adjust the angle of the dangle pretty much with your aerial. It's a bit hard to route this. You have to pull the aerial off if you've already got one installed. So yeah, pretty much because you have to run the cable through the hole there and then out through the bottom. So it does make it a bit hard. You don't really want to have to cut this, otherwise you'll lose a lot of rigidity in that if you're cutting that to allow the cable to go through. So yeah, unfortunately you have to take the aerial out, which I've had to do with mine, which is annoying, but it's just one of those things. So if you're installing a 2A for the first time, this would be ideal to put in straight off the bat so you don't have to double handle it. Alright, so what we have to do with the cable, pretty much goes through the hole, and then you have to line your washer and your nut up that goes onto the base. So make sure you put that on first, otherwise you're going to have a lot of mucking around. And then pretty much feed it through the hole, and then wiggle the tongue a little bit, there it goes, and you pop out like that. So that pretty much allows it to bend and flex without catching that cable, and you don't want that. So then the nut's still in there, nut and washer are still in there, so then when your thread goes through there of the base, that winds on. Super easy. Alright, so now it's just a matter of pulling all your cable through. Takes a little bit of time. Make sure that nut doesn't get caught up. So as you can see, that part of the shaft goes in there, and then our nut, pretty much just have to use all that dexterity that you've got to try and get that nut on. So that's on. We'll just get a spanner in there and nip her up, and then she's pretty much good to sit on the car. Alright, now that's together, I've just gone and run a bit of split conduit that was already on there. I'm not a big fan of split stuff, but like I say, it was already on there, so too tight and lazy to go get some more, so that'll do. Just got a bit of heat shrink on the end here, just to neaten it up a bit, so I'll just is it working? Alright, so when I get that working, I'll heat that on, do the other end, and then we'll fit it to the car. Alright, round two. We have fire. Get that bit of the heat up. You need a cigarette lighter, but I don't smoke, so it doesn't help me. First it works a treat. Also soldering on, so that's good. Be nice and hot, don't burn it. And yep, that's hot. Perfect. Alright, we'll do the other end, put her in the car. Alright, so we are, she's mounted in. Haven't done that up yet because I have the OCD dilemma. Do I do it square to the tab, which means that it will go that way when you lay it over, or do I do it square to the car, so it goes that way? Real world problems here. I think I'll go with that way. Right, if you ever had to run cables back through somewhere where you've already run them, easiest trick in the book. Get a bit of spare cable, bit of electric tape, wrap it all together, And you can pull it through where you've been and pull it back through the other way. As you can see, there's a fair bit of stuff that's got to go around, fuse boxes, batteries, all that sort of stuff, and then through the grill and out to the front. So having that attached to where it used to run is so much easier than having to reroute it all through everywhere. So yeah, good little tip there. So as you can see, it goes in a fair way. This red cord, we've got our two-way mounted in behind the radio there. It's only a slimline GME XRS one, so yeah, it doesn't take up much room in behind the head unit there. Alright, so I've managed to pull a fair bit of this through. You can see there's a lot of wire that goes on up in there, so it's a lot easier doing that way than having to try and reroute it again. Good thing about these new two-ways, the aerials and that, they've got a interchangeable plugs, so if you used to have that sort of stuff, you used to have to, what was on there, and you used to have a real bad time trying to get these through firewalls, through grommets, all that sort of stuff. So hats off to the people at GME for coming up with that. Probably been around for ages, but it shows you how long since I've done a two-way install. But yeah, really clever bit of design there, so you can interchange between different models of two-way without having to change the aerial out, so that's pretty cool. Install complete, and yeah, really happy with the way it turned out. Got the longer aerial on there now too, so don't have to swap them around all the time. And yeah, it tips over quite nicely, nice and sleek, and yeah, pretty sturdy. So yeah, happy with that. Anyway, I hope you like the install, and yeah, if you've got any questions or comments, just sing out, give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Cheers to that, guys, take it easy.